What is up? It is me. It is I. I am the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever will be. I am greatness personified. Myself. Yes! Yes! Stoney greatness. And I am here with the man of the hour, the myth, the legend, the author, the activist, the entertainer, the innovator, the educator, the philanthropist, the man of the hour, people. So show some respect. Bend the knee because they come from all across the world to see the man who wears the crown that hangs 2 inches from the ground. Yes, he is your king. He's my king. King Kevyn!
What's up? I appreciate it. Appreciate the very great introduction. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week. And thank you guys for joining us for this special edition of the GreatMines Show. As you guys know, we cover plenty of shows, and one of those shows that we are currently covering is RuPaul's Drag Race season 15.
Yeah, Drag Race Day 4.
So, wait, huh?
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Day 4.
Yeah, okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cover last week's episode, give you time to watch today's episode, and then Sunday we'll review today's episode. You follow? All right. So here we go. This week, their challenge was to do a commercial about the queer after or the afterlife. Through the eyes of, queer drag queens. They were broken up into 3 groups. The first group was chosen by Anitra, who won last week. The second group was chosen by Amethyst because she won the lip sync. And the third group was chosen by the people who were not chosen.
The leftovers.
As Ru called them, the leftovers. I didn't put them in the category so we can tell people who was in which group.
Oh, yeah. So, oh crap, yeah, and I kind of forgot who was in each group. Who was in each group too. Yeah. So we're gonna glaze over that. Who was it? And we're gonna go to the whole challenge and our opinion of the challenge. So this week it was a rather short episode, so let's talk about that.
It did seem kind of short.
It was a very short episode compared to other seasons. This was a 40-minute episode, which is very short, 20 minutes less than what we're typically used to having.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys were paying close attention, you would have seen that there was no judges' deliberation shown this episode.
How about that?
Yeah, there was no mini challenge this episode.
Yeah, I was about to say that in my introduction. There was no mini challenge.
Right. So there were things missing. Hopefully, this is not a trend. For especially with the move over to MTV, because for all that, just send it back to VH1 so that they can do their full 60 minutes.
Yeah, because on VH1 they didn't beep out the cursing either.
Right. Or make it Paramount, or just make it a Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Show. At the end of the day, the whole the TV numbers are going down regardless because of the rate of cord cutting. Cord cutting is getting faster, so they might as well move it to the streamers and and still broadcast it on their cable. It's not like it's hurting.
Right.
And I don't get that.
Right.
I don't get their executive
one of the
decision.
most annoying things in years past is everyone's watching something and I don't even know how to access it anymore. Like, that is so annoying to me. So I've been chasing behind RuPaul's Drag Race, Paramount Plus, VH1, Logo, now MTV. And of course it wasn't in that order. Logo, VH1, Paramount Plus, and now MTV. Next thing you know, it's going to be on BET. No, that won't happen. But anyway,
Yeah, so so there was that, and then you also getting down into the maxi challenge. The first group was led by Nitra and Princess Poppy was on, or not Princess Poppy. Marsha was on that team.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
That was
Selena Estetis was on that team. And Lux Noir London was on that team. That
Sasha
was
Kobe.
Yeah.
That I think was a solid group. Like the entire team was like solid.
Yeah.
You may have had a few people who were like slightly weaker in my opinion, but everybody held their own
Right.
in that commercial.
Yes. Everyone had their moment. They all, took advantage of their moment. It all seemed cohesive. There was always a running joke, especially with Sasha Kobe being God. And
that was perfect.
Like, that was amazing. That was amazing as well. Anitra with her whole, standing there doing absolutely nothing. And then,
it made it entertaining, though.
Yeah.
It made it entertaining.
That was definitely a highlight moment for their group as well. Lux Noir London surprised, me, as a person. I didn't, spoiler alert, like she was in my bottom 3 last week.
I feel like she's going to be one of those rising stars.
Because
she has talent, and I think she just needs to break out of her shell and show the world what she's made of.
Definitely, I see her on Naomi Smalls' trajectory. Like her, how Naomi Smalls was like, yeah, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, yeah, okay, and then it was like, oh, she made it to the finals. So yeah, I think that
Lux,
she has the chops.
We are rooting for you
now. Yeah.
Well, I was already rooting for you. That first runway was a mistake. That we had a redo.
Yeah,
and that's a lot to say.
Wow.
Having the opportunity to do a redo is something that I want to come back to once we go through this.
Yeah. And so their group was good. All right. And their whole thing was Palm Springs, I guess, where drag queens go to die.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that was the perfect wrap up to this commercial with everything that you got to see from, say, Palm Springs and the jokes that they had. It was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Everything was great.
It was entertaining.
Then you had the second group. All right. And honestly, the first group was the only entertaining group of the night. Let's be real. Outside of one person.
Which is in this group.
Next group, yes. So this next group was led by Amethyst. You had Amethyst there. You had Lucy LaDuca on that team.
Yes.
Who else did you have?
They're so forgettable.
Aura Mayari was on that team.
Spice was on that team. And Princess Poppy was on that team. So, yeah. So let's just say they went the dirty route, the very, very dirty route. It was a lot of lewd jokes that sounded funny, but didn't land.
Yeah,
they didn't land.
The execution was terrible. Mm-hmm.
So it's like watching them trying to put it together as the show progressed, and then watching the finished product. You got pretty much what you expected for the most part. Mm-hmm. I think the issue for me was as the edited version was done. RuPaul and everyone was watching it, you didn't hear a peep from anybody until halfway through the commercial when Lucy LaDuca came in as Dolly Parton.
Right, who was their version of God.
Yes.
Right.
So it's like that was the highlight of that entire thing was Lucy LaDuca. There was nothing else that happened that made me want to even think about it. Like I remember seeing somebody running around, Aura.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, Amethyst
choking on a banana. Getting a facial.
It just didn't land.
Princess Poppy with a rainbow coming out her butt.
Oh, I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, see. Exactly. I get what you're saying. So, and let's take a moment, now that we've, highlighted the trash, let's take a moment to give, Lucy LaDuca her flowers for that Dolly Parton. Like, when I tell you that was one of the best Dolly Partons.
You know what I want to say is the fact that she did not allow the weakness around her to them. Like, she didn't feel like, oh, I need to tone it down for them.
No.
She continued to shine,
Yeah.
despite the fact that she was the only light bulb on in that group.
Yeah.
The only one.
Yeah.
And she had her moment. And that's what I feel everyone should do. You may not have the biggest part, but you take the part that you have and you make it as big as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucy LaDuca understood the assignment. She came in here, gave, like you said, an outstanding, phenomenal Dolly Parton.
Right.
Like you said, one of the best.
One of the best. And it wasn't even that long.
It wasn't. But it was spot on. And it was funny.
Yeah. Everything. Mannerisms, voice down pat.
Oh,
like,
the voice.
Everything. Even it did the little knocker.
Yes.
You know, when she hits her little knocker. Yeah. Love that.
It was good.
Like, so yeah, Lucy LaDuca. Round of applause to you. You get the round of applause. All right. Now,
which, by the way,
to
last week Lucy LaDuca was in my bottom 3.
Yeah, she was the save queen on my top 5 bottom queens 3 that we always do here. So we're gonna move from a team that knocked it out of the park, full of stars, to a team that just had one light bulb on. All right. To a team where the lights were out the whole time.
It was more like that faulty light bulb you see in the horror movies.
It's like ding, ding,
yeah.
Ding. But it didn't. You know how some of them go ding ding ding, and then it ding 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 ding. Nope. It didn't even flicker. It just ding ding, and then that was it. That was it. That was literally it. Yeah. So because that third group, the leftovers, some moldy leftovers. Tell you what. I tell you what, like, them leftovers, like, got the film all over it, the soggy, sliminess and everything that's been sitting in there for 2 whole weeks. That is what their infomercial was for their afterlife. They called it drag hagatory, all right? And basically, the premise was that, drag obsessed, white girl, dies, attempting a death drop, and then goes to heaven, which is drag queen, like drag con all the time.
Yeah,
where there's lip syncs.
I like the idea of dragatory. It's like purgatory. Yeah. So you're like stuck here with all these drag queens, and they even said it at the end.
Well, drag hagatory.
Yeah, but that's why I was. Yeah, mm-hmm. It was like it's heaven for you, but it's hell for us.
Right.
So I get it.
Again,
I got that reference.
Again, like with the first one. Solid premise to go with. All right, solid premise. Bones are there, right? But that's about it. Like, it's just bones. Like, y'all put no flesh on it, no hair, no pizzazz, no makeup, no nothing, and y'all drag queens. So, it was terrible. It was terrible. There was nothing memorable about it. The lead person of that group, or the lead, what I would consider the lead is like the person who shows them around and who's supposed to embody God and stuff like that. They use Malaysia Baby Doll Fox. There was nothing stand out about that performance.
Let's talk about Malaysia real quick. Because last week I was raving about her. Because I feel like she has an it factor. She has this personality, and she's
and it showed in her number at the talent show. It did. Yeah.
So I still have high hopes for her, but I'm also nervous because her acting sucks. She was not good at the acting challenge at all. And this is the first one. It's like trying to, I don't know.
And this was very much an acting / improv challenge.
Yeah.
It's not like they had a hard script to go by. It's not like the Rusical or anything else like that.
They made up their own script.
Yeah.
So, which is even worse.
So you gotta, and in my opinion, Sugar in that group, because it was Malaysia Baby Doll Fox. You had Sugar. You had Robin Fierce. You had Mistress Isabel Brooks, and you had Jax that were in that group, the leftover group. And so, you think that'd be a solid group of girls, but no. It was terrible. And Sugar was trying to overcompensate for everybody because everybody else's energy level was so low.
That is true.
And then, but what happened was because they kept their energy level low, it looked like Sugar was being crazy.
Doing
absolutely
too much.
crazy and manic when she was literally just trying to carry the whole group. Like, you could me personally, that's what I saw. That's what I got from her performance, was that she was really trying to carry it. You know, Mistress Isabel Brooks was doing just enough to be safe, in my opinion.
You got me rethinking my bottom three.
Robin Fierce also did just enough to be safe. Jax looked terrible. You know, the one thing I can say about Mistress Isabel Brooks is that, you know, she looked like Eureka. She was supposed to be Eureka.
Her look was together.
All right. Robin Fierce. That was something that I could see Jada looking like, but it was still Robin Fierce at the end of the day. Yeah. It's kind of hard for Robin Fierce to be Jada Essence Hall in that thing. Then you had Jax that was supposed to be Shangela. Did not look like Shangela. All right. Looked like, you know, a lady from Florida about to go play the slots. You know.
Yeah, she did.
That's what she looked like.
Like a Peggy Bundy almost.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very much Peggy Bundy, not Shangela. Shangela's not Peggy Bundy. Like, no. Not at all. And then you had Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, who was supposed to be silking up Meg Ganache. Right. You know, and I kind of saw it, but it was still flat.
I think that was the most entertaining Malaysia was in that commercial when she pulled the cookie out. It said munch munch crunch crunch.
Yeah,
and that wasn't even her. That
but
was
it wasn't even
imitating someone else.
And then it wasn't even as big.
No, I don't think any of them actually got as big as the actual character. The fact that when it got to Jax and she says shablam, everyone knows that Shangela says hallelujah.
Or sickening.
Right.
You know?
You had so many other things that you could that was more iconic.
Right. So, yeah, no. And that shows that you're not a student of Drag Race. You're not. You're just here for the money. You know what I mean, Jax? And it shows in your drag. You know? It's gold digging.
It sucks for Jax, in my opinion, because last week Jax was a strong competitor. Jax was in my top 5.
Yeah, Jax was also in my top 5 at 5, but in my top 5. And and she bit off more than she could chew. In my opinion, during the questioning, after the runway, she kind of threw her team under the bus. She was throwing her team under the bus instead of, taking ownership, in my opinion. If you were going to step up and be the leader, then you own it.
Yeah.
Captain goes down with the ship at the end of the day. So, that wasn't at all very becoming to me of the next drag superstar to be, willing to throw people, you know what I mean? Because we already have, drag superstars who are, considered rude and selfish and stuff like that. And I don't think we need more.
I don't think that Jax is rude and considerate. I think that she made a bad choice. This episode, like this entire episode, to me was a bunch of. She made several bad choices in this episode.
Yeah, runway terrible. All right, runway metallic, because we went through the whole the teams and everything and pretty much gave our opinions of who won the Maxi Challenge, and y'all can infer as to who won the Millie Challenge as the Maxi Challenge as a team, that first team. And we'll get into the actual winner in a second. But, getting into the runway, you know what I mean? Because we're going to start, the conversation is going to start bleeding into the runway where we're at. We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way good.
So, getting into the runway now, let's start with, let's analyze our safe queens, all right? So, we what we do here again, guys, is that we do our top 5 queens and then our bottom queens 3. Okay, so and then in between there's this what we call the safe queens. All right, so we're gonna analyze the runway looks of our safe queens first, and then we'll go into our top 5. All right, and then our bottoms. All right, and then we'll get into the whole elimination thing shortly after.
That's bad. I kind of just want to watch it again so I can, because the safe queens, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, I can remember it to you. So my first safe queen, all right, who's sitting at number 6, if you want to go in my overall ranking, technically, is Robin Fierce. All right, Robin Fierce had the gold. Look like Dora Milaje spear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dress / pantsuit, I think, looking thing it was, with the cutouts and everything. It was nice. Had the rings in her braids and stuff. It was very nice.
Because I didn't rank them in any particular order, so I'm going to give my feedback as you rank them. All right. Before I rank Robin, the idea of these safe queens, I have a prediction. Aura is going to always be safe until she's in the bottom, in my opinion. Sadly, I'm starting to feel the same way about Robin. Robin is that girl I want to shine, but I feel like she's resting on pretty, and we've seen people do that before, and it didn't help them enough. It wasn't enough to just be pretty. So, yeah, she is safe, and being safe is not like the best. You don't stand out. Like, I'm jumping all over the list, but like Amethyst she's been in the bottom, but I feel that she's actually a really good queen.
Right? Yeah. No.
I don't even see Amethyst as staying as safe. I think she's going to like shoot up.
Yeah. No. I think that she has that quality where. Again, I think that she's the most commercial of all these girls.
And you said that, and I'm like, no, I don't see it. But now I can see why.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like like I was telling you the last time. I think that I think that Amethyst is a drag baby of Sarah Jessica Parker and Lisa Kudrow. Like, if they got together and had a little drag baby boy, it would be Amethyst. Because like she just has that sitcom look, that wholesome sitcom-y look that way, those people like.
Horrible.
I mean, yeah, but like, and it's both in and out of drag. You know what I mean? Like, so it's I think that's why I think she's the most commercial.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so Robin Fierce, safe. She's very pretty. But she needs to turn it up. All right.
Yeah.
I have next Miss Isabel Brooks sitting at number 7 in my rankings, but I don't know what she ranks as yours.
I'm not a big fan of Mistress at Isabel, but I also see that she's a really good fighter. She's somebody to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, I think she's holding back a lot.
Yeah, I think she's going to let a couple of things out that's going to spark up some things. People going to have to look out for her.
Right. Yeah. Her runway, it looked good on her, but it wasn't really overwhelming. It was definitely to me a safe look. Chain that big old chain that she was dragging made no sense. Yeah. All right. Safe.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8 by the slimmest of margins, and when I tell you, like, this lady could be down in my bottom 3, or safe in my opinion. But I have at number 8, Selena Estites.
Now, give your feedback about her, because I got something to say about her.
Well, I thought the runway was hokey, but it fits with her aesthetic that she's been presenting on the runway, which is, I'm the hokey chola, the campy hokey chola, from LA. And I get that, hopefully it has legs, because I'm starting to get tired of it, and it's only been technically 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you know how I say Robin is a girl that I want to see win? It's going to sound so bad. Selena is the girl that I want to see lose. Like, get her out of here. Now, Selena Estites is the drag baby of Vanjie and Candy Muse.
It's not literally, but like, if they got together and had a baby, yes, it is Selena Estites. It is. And I mean, I think the thing with Selena for me is like she's just rough around the edges, because I don't want to like her, but I think I'm starting to.
I think that she's gonna grow. Like I said,
she's growing on me.
She is very much like and I was telling her trajectory to me, as far as the way that she's been shown and presented, very much reminds me of an Alexis Mateo or Roxy Andrews. And I say or because Roxy Andrews went from that pretty girl, you know what I mean, but ended up being a villain. True. You know, whereas Alexis Mateo was somebody that you liked throughout the entire season. You know what I mean? You were happy that she made it to the finals. Did she stand a chance at winning in people's opinion? No. But you were happy that she was there because she earned a spot at the finals, to be honest with you. So, you know, she could go those two routes. She could end up being the villain who makes it because she's pretty, but she's not Roxy Andrews pretty. All right. So I don't see her, you know, she could just be the villain and just make it far.
I see her as a villain.
Or, you know, she could be the Alexis Mateo. Hey, girl, you know what I mean? Everybody likes me because I'm loud and, you know, Latin. You know, you know, she's not lovable enough to be cuckoo. You know, she's not lovable enough to be cuckoo.
And that's my thing. Yeah. She's not like, she doesn't have finesse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I perfect.
She does not have finesse.
No.
Is she talented in her way? Yes, she is. Mm-hmm. I think she needs to learn how to cinch her body better too.
Yeah. Yeah, don't always look like a refrigerator.
Yeah.
In drag, you know. Right. Out of drag, it's fine.
Right.
In drag, no.
So, yeah, she's that girl for me.
Yep. So, after Selena Estetis, I have a controversial ranking, all right, because this person would be 6, 7, 8, 9th on my rankings, all right. 9th on my rankings is Amethyst. All right. I thought that her runway was pretty solid. She's a safe queen in my opinion. She's not in my bottom 3. She's not in my top 5, which is a controversial pick right now because, you know, spoiler alert.
She is up.
You know, she's up for elimination this episode. Yeah. She is in the bottom 2. You know, and once we get through our rankings, we'll finish out the top 3 and the bottom 3, and then, you know, let you guys know. But she is in the bottom 2.
I will say this. Mm-hmm. This is, I think is really interesting. I said mine were in any particular order. Mm-hmm. But the first 3 girls that I said were safe were the same first 3 girls, just in a different order. Mm-hmm. And Amethyst is right after them on both of our lists. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because for me, I feel like Amethyst is going to do some stuff. She's going to come in and I don't know. It's like she's fighting so hard to stay in it. Mm-hmm. She's not. I don't think she's going to be one of those queens that I'm in the bottom and then like I deserve to be eliminated. Mm-hmm. I think she's showing us that she has a lot of fight in her. She's very creative. You know, her jokes don't always land, but she's a very creative entertainer. Yeah. Like I like to watch her entertain. Mm-hmm. And I think she's going to creep up to the top. Mm-hmm. I really believe that. Yeah. And like the unexpected, I think Amethyst is going to. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying she's going to win. Mm-mm. But I think that she's going to crawl up.
And if she does, this will be like a drag Rocky story, like that they need to make into a movie.
Yeah, I just think like near the end of the competition, she's going to be one of those. She's going to be like Eureka when you get so far and you're like almost there, but then you get eliminated. Mm-hmm. She's going to be that for me.
Okay. So after Amethyst, I have what's this?
Safe Queens, yeah.
10. All right, 9 and 10, Sugar and Spice. Or Spice and Sugar, in that order. Spice is 9, Sugar is 10. Right outside my bottom 3. All right?
I have Spice after Amethyst.
I have Spice after Amethyst, too. Yeah. And then I have Sugar right outside my bottom 3.
And I don't have Sugar after that. I have Aura Mayari. I think that she's just another safe girl. Mm-hmm. She is going to fly by maybe another 2-3 episodes, and if she don't step herself up, I don't know if I should say that on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So if she don't step her game up within the next 2 or 3 episodes, there's a good chance. Yeah, it's a good chance that Aura Mayari will be saying bye bye. Mm-hmm.
So, now that we've discussed our safe queens, all right, which we obviously know that you guys obviously know that there is a difference here. Yeah. All right. So, you know, one queen that I had as safe is not safe with King Kevyn, and one queen that King Kevyn has safe is not safe with me. So, let us talk about let's go with the bottom. Let's start with the bottom first. Our bottom queens, 3.
All right. So for me, I'm gonna start with this person is closer to safe than being eliminated in my opinion, and that's Malaysia Baby Doll Fox. And again, it's because she has talent, but when it came down to the challenge this week, she didn't do it for me. It was very amateur high school play for me, and not we're on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. So she's in my bottom 3, and then you got something.
I concur. She is also at my first out position of the bottom 3. She is, I definitely agree. I would say that her runway, her face was done very nice. I like the hair. Not a big fan of the dress. I thought that the chains on the front, it should have continued to the back. It just looked like you hot glued some stuff to the front.
Well, she probably did.
And, called it something. But, it should have continued around to the back or down through the dress itself. You could have elevated it. And I definitely think that her performance was lacking. I think that, she was safe by the skin of her teeth. Her silky nutmeg ganache, like I said earlier, was not as big as it should have been.
And again, I feel like that was the most entertaining thing she did
right.
in that commercial.
Yeah. And
it was a portrayal of someone else, and it was still lackluster.
Right. So, yeah, she's my, what's this? Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 9, 10. She's my 11th queen. Who's your second to the bottom?
Mine is going to be Sugar. It's so bad that Sugar for me was the main character in her group's commercial, but she's still so forgettable to me. So I'm just like not feeling her right now, and this is just based off of this week or last week, because tonight's going. I can't wait to see what tonight's giving. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit too.
Yeah,
but yeah, so Sugar for me is just like she could have easily have been in the place that I put Malaysia, and Malaysia could have been in that space for. But I just really like Malaysia. I just feel like she's another one that's going to give me something. And I think what I'm expecting her to give me is going to be in the next episode.
Yeah, no. Like
for I said, most of them.
The distance between Amethyst on my list, all right, or no, Selena Estites, all right, and honestly, my next person, who's my second from the bottom, who is Ari Mayari, which is weird because he has her safe, I have Sugar safe,
Right, that's where we differ.
Yeah, that's where we differ.
And they actually, the positions for each of them as well.
Yeah. So, I just think that Aria isn't doing enough. She didn't do enough last week in the talent show for me. Her runway, this week. Her performance in the infomercial. I mean, I only remember you hopping around in the mimosa. That's about it.
I feel like her face was there, and I remember seeing her face throughout.
I just remember hopping around in the mimosa.
That was the most memorable part.
Yeah. And I don't get me wrong, Aria, like out of drag, I could stare at you all day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you are beautiful. You're beautiful in drag too, but you're just not giving it to me. You're just not giving it to me the way that you're not doing it the way that I needed it to be done.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
And our bottom queen, all right. And when I tell you that, for me, I don't know about you, but for me, there is a good amount of distance between Aria Mayari and this bottom queen.
Really?
Yeah, there's a good amount of distance.
Go ahead. So it's like, it's one thing if like you're safe, you're not bad, but you're safe, and I think for me that's what Sugar was. For you, that's what Aura was. But then that's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different reasons why this person is in this position for me. I think between the the maxi challenge and the runway, the looks were weak. It was whack. It was like, why? I felt insulted watching this. And obviously, I'm talking about Jax.
Yep, we're talking about Jax. We're both talking about Jax. Our bottom queen. Jax. Kind of spoiler alert for a little bit, but you know, her runway, she came out in an ensemble that was inspired by Jax from Mortal Kombat. You know,
horrible outfit,
terrible execution, especially for a Metallica ball. Especially when you saw all the other girls with, you know what I mean. I would have ran and asked, could I go to somewhere to get something more sparklier to just spray on because she had these fake metal arms and this fishnet little dress on with camouflage.
And that was supposed to be like silver, or I guess that was supposed to be added, but it was like fishnet, so it didn't read as metallic or shimmery or anything. It was just
gray fishnet.
Yeah.
And then she had like cutouts in her camouflage shorts that didn't make any sense at all.
I couldn't see a shape with that.
Yeah, exactly. Made no sense.
Couldn't tell what she was wearing.
Made no sense.
I didn't understand it at all.
No.
Honestly, the outfit even looked kind of masculine.
Yeah.
So I didn't get this outfit. I didn't get this performance. I didn't last week. Jax was in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
This week, she is the bottom queen for me.
Yep. Same with me. I mean, last week, you guys could check the tape. Jax was sitting at number 5. On my thing. I enjoyed her talent show. It was very much okay. We get who you are. I did not enjoy her runway that episode. I did not enjoy this runway. All right, 2 bad runways in a row with me, and that gets you down because the runway is literally like half your score, like every week.
Yeah.
And if you don't do well in the runway and the maxi challenge, you're definitely in the bottom. You should have been going home. Jax should have, in my opinion, went home, and that's my hot personal take.
Not even just went home. I think that she should have been in the bottom.
Oh yeah,
too.
She should have definitely lip synced for her life this week.
The drag gods were looking out for her tonight.
Oh yeah. The drag gods gave her the golden chocolate bar. Like golden chocolate bar is spent for this season. Yep. Jax used it today, or and last week.
That sucks because I can imagine there being some other really bad performances, not necessarily from Jax, but like someone else is going to need that.
Right.
But Jax spent it. It's spent.
Yeah, it's spent. So so getting into the actual eliminations. All right. So the top 3 queens. All right, were Sasha Colby, Lux Noir London, and Lucy DeLuca. Okay. The winner of the Maxi Challenge this week and got a 5,000 tip is Sasha Colby. Sasha Colby. And her runway, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The all right. Feathers, like the long.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get into that once we talk about our top 5.
She did it.
Yep. So then we had, in the bottom 3 was Jax, our bottom queen, Amethyst, who we both had safe, and Princess Poppy. All right.
And I last week made it a point to say how I just don't see it for her.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of this episode, she was F you, Irene, who was sent home first. And then when she was picked on Amethyst's team, she said, see you later, losers.
Sorry, losers.
No, sorry, losers, something like that. Sorry, losers to the leftover team. And her performance was, what was her performance?
Yeah. She had the thing coming out of her butt, the rainbow coming out of her butt.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She shined more than Jax in that. But it was a very weak performance.
Mm-hmm.
Her runway did nothing for me. She ended up in the bottom 2.
Right. Ended up in the bottom 2, lip syncing against Amethyst.
A Diana Ross song.
Yep, Diana Ross, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. which we know every season Ru does at least 3 Diana Ross songs. All right, there's a reason.
Now, Amethyst, I actually really loved her look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, her runway was solid.
And I love watching her perform.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I want to see her in more acting challenges where she's actually funny. Now, if they do a roast, I'm nervous for her for right now.
See, but I'm not as nervous. I think that she's going to slay that.
See, the thing is, like, you just watch them, like, in like the workroom, and they're regular talking and their attitudes and their shade, and like I enjoy it. So it's like I know that you have that, so I'm just waiting to see.
Yeah. So needless to say, Princess Poppy, who lip synced against Amethyst, lost. And the crazy thing is, dissecting that lip sync real fast. Princess Poppy, Amethyst's back was already against the wall because she was in the lip sync last week. All right, so if you're in a lip sync more than once, especially in a row, it is pretty much you are going home unless you win. Okay?
Yeah.
So, all Princess Poppy had to do was literally just look pretty. And,
Seriously.
Yeah. And Ru would have saved her because Amethyst had her chance, But Princess Poppy started out good, started out solid, and then it went off the rails. And she lost that lip sync.
She did some things that I've never seen done before.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the middle of your performance, you are walking down to where the girls are sitting in the back of the stage, and like adding them to your performance,
doing a meet and greet.
As Amethyst said, doing a meet and greet, and then she started
popping her princess tang.
Yes, it was uncomfortable to watch.
Mm-hmm. It started out great.
And then the thing is, doing all of this craziness next to Amethyst, who is killing it.
Yeah, who is embodying Diana Ross. From the hairography to the capeography to everything. Like, and
although I think she danced way more than Diana Ross ever has in her life.
Mm-hmm.
But she gave you Diana Ross.
Yeah.
She gave you drag queen realness
Yep,
Diana.
and that's all
Princess
you do.
Poppy, you don't make a song like that campy.
Yeah.
Especially not against Amethyst. Especially not doing what you were doing, like humping the air.
You don't make Diana Ross campy with RuPaul, period.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't. There's things you just don't. You just don't do that. Flats and that. Don't do it on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Make sure your wig don't come off.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Make sure that your outfit don't fall
unless
apart.
There's a tearaway under your tearaway.
Right. There has to be a reveal with your wig coming off.
Yeah.
If it's just a stocking cap up under there, you'd have lost.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. So needless to say, that's why Princess Poppy was missing from all of our rankings. She's not in our top 5 or bottom queens 3 or our safe queens because she's eliminated. So now let's get on to the best of the best. The best of the show thus far. Our top 5 queens. All right, go ahead, Kyng.
And the number 5 spot for me, I have Lux Noir London.
All right.
I think, like I said, she's a talent that is starting to shine a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the attitude and the charisma. She definitely has that. So she's in my number 5 spot. Who's in your number 5?
At my number 5, I have Marsha. All right. Reason why is because I am concerned about her makeup. and to me, she looks pretty.
She is pretty, but it's drag.
It's drag, and they want the big eye. They want the big lips. They want the big everything, the contouring. All right, they want to see all that. So give the judges that. If you can do it, give it to them. All right, and that's why she's in my top 5. She by far has me the most excited as to what she's going to do next week, because next week
is the Snatch Game.
Mm-hmm.
And we always look forward to the Snatch Game.
Yeah.
Except for season 14.
Right. Well, we'll just leave that in the dumpster fire where it belongs.
I hope and pray that we don't get a repeat of that.
Yeah, no. So that's why she's my number 5. I think that based off of, and I loved her runway look this week. She was Tin Man inspired. It looked great.
And always a pretty girl.
Yeah. But you know, I am skeptical about her giving the judges enough makeup and giving us more. So hopefully she can bring it during the Snatch Game next week. Who is your number 4?
Marsha.
And I have at my number 4 Lux Noir London. So you know, and I believe everything that you said about Lux Noir.
Yeah.
I thought her runway was a billion times better this week than it was last
she
week.
Looked so
oh
pretty.
my gosh. Yes, look absolutely gorgeous this week.
But so for me, Marsha, I think that she's another pretty girl who I think is resting on pretty.
Mm-hmm.
She's talented, and I think that she's a character actor, so it's like she'll do good in Snatch Game. And I feel like she better act like she know how to do some damn makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the girls around her might start helping her with
Right.
more.
Right.
Who do you have for number 3?
So at my number 3 spot, I have Lucy DeLuca.
Okay. You want to talk about why?
So Lucy was safe for me last week. Okay. No, she was in my bottom 3, wasn't she? I think she was. No, she wasn't in my bottom 3. No, she was safe for me last week, even though she was in the bottom. Even though she was in the bottom 3 last week. But I love her drag. Like, her drag is very pleasing to my eye. First off, like we raved about her Dolly performance earlier.
Yeah.
Her runway look this week was absolutely stunning. Her body is always on point. Like, when I tell you Coke bottle, like, you want to lick the condensation off the front of the glass because it just quenches your thirst. Like, that is what her shape does for me. All right. Like, and
you know,
everything is so put together.
So, Lucy LaDuca isn't as thick as Selena Estitties, but I think that what Selena needs to do is take some notes from Lucy.
As far as body shaping. Yeah, definitely. Because Lucy can help her out. Because Lucy always knows what shape is right. Like, like her shape on the runway, it was this gold, like, Judy Jetson looking thing. She had the whole Judy Jetson hair, like little bob with the little swoosh and everything. And the makeup was bright and vibrant. And her face was just gorgeous. Like great. Like, my second, like, her runway was definitely my second favorite runway. Lux Noir's was my third. All right. But Lucy is definitely on a rosé trajectory for me.
So in my third place, I have Anitra. I think that she is definitely still strong. She shines bright. Her looks are always good. Her challenges, she does really good. I just based off of this, she didn't shine as bright. I think that top 5, yes. Top 3, well, she's top 3. But she's at number 3. Whereas in my number 2 spot, I have Lucy LaDuca.
Ah, okay. Well, in my number 2 spot, I have Sasha Colby, this week's winner. I thought that she did well enough, and the crazy thing is, I think I had her at number 4 last week.
Something like that.
So she's hopped 2 spots, and you know, and is really, you know, making a good run at it. I mean, that neck crack, amazing. Like, how do you think about that? Like, and then, you know, like, and then keep it going throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? It was amazing. Her runway, she came out looking like a freaking a silver-plated phoenix. Like, it was amazing. Like something from Carnival.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
It was big old wings and, you know, little bustier with, you know, nice little, like, her whole, like, little panties and stuff like that, boots and stuff. Like, it was nice. It was very, very lovely. Very, very lovely. Big old headdress. Absolutely amazing. She deserved to win this week. And I am definitely looking forward to seeing more of Sasha Colby.
I want to talk about Lucy and then Sasha. So I put Lucy as my number 2 because she is really polished. She's one of those girls that's like, you can't not like her. Because she's just a talent, and she knows her range. She knows how far to go with her acting and her body, like, and her outfits and her makeup and her hair. She's just a really polished queen that, again, you have to enjoy.
She very much has Bianca Del Rio potential. She has Bianca Del Rio potential,
Wow.
but I don't know if she has that sassiness that Bianca
She
has.
don't, but she doesn't have to have the sassiness to have the potential of the caliber, you know?
Right.
Because when it comes down to talent,
it's the level of polishedness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Bianca came in and Bianca was polished. Like Bianca,
I think that's the only difference. Like,
Yeah.
Bianca would have never been in the bottom 3.
Oh yeah, no, she's way too polished. Like,
Yeah.
she came in extremely polished. She came in with
Whereas
a plan.
Lucy was already in the bottom 3.
Right.
But I feel like Lucy,
And even though I feel like she shouldn't have been in the bottom 3 last week, honestly, but that the judges like what they like and don't what they don't.
yeah.
Um.
So yeah. Now Sasha is my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
In this challenge because she was like as good as Lucy LaDuca was in her team. I feel like Sasha was just as good with what she was giving. Her execution of it was just beautiful. I think the runway is what set her apart because although Lucy looked great, I think
Sasha's had 2 phenomenal runways in a row.
Exactly. I think that Sasha, I think she shocked herself. Like, she knows what she can do, but I think the fact that Michelle praised her the way she did, the way that Rue and T.S. Madison praised her, it validated what she knew already about herself, and you could see it, and she won that $5,000.
Yeah.
And she was, I celebrated with her.
Yeah.
So for me,
did too.
she is that number 1 bitch for me right now.
All right. Well, I have obviously Anitra still as the front runner on my list. I don't think that she did. I don't think that she did anything to not warrant being the front runner.
She didn't do anything to warrant not being it, but she didn't do anything to say I'm holding on to it.
I think she did enough because for me, one of the highlights of that first group, all right, was Anitra's.
Let me ask you a question.
Was Anitra's bit
top 3? Let's say Anitra, Sasha, and Lucy LaDuca, right? Who had the best runway?
Who had the best runway? Sasha.
All right. Out of the Maxi Challenge, who had the best performance?
Of those 3?
Yes.
Lucy.
How in the world does Anitra earn top billing then? She wasn't the best out of the 3. She was number 3 with the look.
Right.
She was definitely number 3 with the performance.
I see what you're saying.
How in the world do you give her number 1?
I see what you're saying.
She didn't hold on to her number 1 spot.
But when it comes, for me, she did enough. She did just enough. She did just enough. Like, I thought her part in her group was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
It was good.
I laughed.
I laughed
out
too.
loud.
It was funny.
She
did what she was supposed to do, but at the same time, she didn't shine like Lucy. She didn't.
Her
shine
runway
like
was
Sasha.
very pretty. You know what I mean? So yes,
and it sucks because it sounds like I'm hating on her because I'm really not.
No,
I just don't think that she maintained that number 1 spot.
Right.
I think that was taken from her, and she was bumped down to number 3.
Well, to each his own. I think that she's
my
still.
opinion.
I think that she's still the front runner, and in my opinion, the most likely to at this point to win the entire show. But like I said, hey, I had Princess Poppy in my top 5 last week,
right?
And she's gone. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I just have this feeling.
But Jax definitely, to me, should have been going. Should have went home.
I feel like I want to make another prediction, but it's still too early. I want to call top 3, but it's too early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's too early for me to call my show's top 3.
Yeah.
And everything too. But so there you have it, folks. Snatch Game is coming up tonight. So make sure you tune in to MTV on whatever you got. Let it be cable, streaming, Tune in, watch the Snatch Game, comment here because we'll be looking at your comments.
Yes.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe to all your Drag Race folks. Let them know that we got our review up a little late, but we got it up.
And while you're on it, make sure you like, share, and subscribe this channel as well, so you can always turn on the notification bell, so every time we go live or we produce any new videos, you guys will know about it. Another thing that you might want to do is go on over. Let me pop it up for you on the screen. Go on over to KevynM.com and purchase yourself a copy of A Life of Lust, Memoirs of the Porn Star.
Boom, 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 boom.
KevynM.com. Purchase your copy now. Awkward.
I'll try to do all the good, because this is a great book. Make sure you go buy it. KevynM.com. All right.
You love pointing at my junk.
Well, if it's pointing at, look over there. I'm pointing at it. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So
I appreciate you guys' support. Continue to support the show. We'll continue to bring you some great reviews.
Yes. Watch Snatch Game tonight. Come back here on Sunday. All right. Live at 5 for the review of the Snatch Game. We are not going to hold anything back, people. We're going to let these queens have it.
Hey, are you watching Real Friends If We Ho?
No.
Okay.
Are you?
I don't know yet.
I don't know.
I'll let you know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm kind of, Todrick. I don't know.
It might, something good might come out of it. Although we seen Todrick on Celebrity Big Brother, we didn't like it. We didn't like what he did. So it's like, catch us on Sunday and see if we decide we want to watch it or not.